have deforestation, frequent fire outbreak. A lot of people are going through troubling times as a result of climate change. Rising temperatures, unpredictability as regards rainfall, and even the impact of climate change is so glaring. However, some young Nigerians have decided to go into the forefront and take up this struggle and see how they can actually win the fight against climate change. You're welcome to Green Housing on your number one housing TV, Africa. My name is Ubong Usoro and I'm your host. We'll go for a short break, and when we're back, we get to be discussing the topic that says combating climate change through local actions. Combating climate change through local action. Don't go nowhere. This is Green Housing on Housing TV Africa.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the Africa International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
Welcome back. This is still Green Housing on Housing TV Africa, and I'm your host, Ubong Usoro. On today's edition, we want to discuss how we can combat climate change through local actions, because we know one of the ways that we could fight climate change is through afforestation, that's planting back trees, carbon capture. So many of these measures that we keep discussing on the shows will be led by actions, and we need people to be at the forefront of making sure that we have all of these things. We need people to advocate, we need people to take actions, and we need people to lead the protest against the fight of climate change. And it's a fight about our life, it's a fight about our environment, it's a fight that has to do with our world. I have with me somebody who's done a lot of jobs. You know, she's actually done a lot of jobs as regards climate action. Her name is Lovelyn. Yes. I'm struggling to do the second name. Andraus, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I tried. Lovelyn Andraus. She's actually an environmentalist, an author, and climate and gender justice advocate. It's actually very beautiful to see the work you've done. I went through some of the platforms, and I've seen the engagement you've done concerning climate action, and I feel very privileged to have this discussion with you. Let's talk about it. What brought you into this field? What gave you the insights that there's something to be done concerning climate change?
All right, so 2015, I got admission into the university to study environmental management, but I wanted to study medicine. So 1 year into the course, I fell in love with the course. Initially, I was not really into it, but when I fell in love with the course, I get to understand what environmental management is all about. It's about like saving the environment, doing, I think, the greater good, because even the doctors are in the environment, so it's kind of cool to save doctors and everyone in the environment. So along the line, I fell in love with the course because the issue of climate change became so glaring. I remember 2015 when I went to Kaduna State University Kafanchan campus, because that's where my campus is. It was really, really cold. I was freezing. But as we progressed, 2017, the weather started changing. It became increasingly warmer. By 2019, I think we had one of the warmest year. And I wasn't the only person. I think other people in the space in 2019, back in Adamawa State where I'm from, I got someone's testimony how it became so freezing, and he felt as if his brains were boiling because of how the weather has actually changed, and it has become increasingly hot.
Yeah.
So that is to tell you that climate change is actually happening. And then back in school also, there's this local species of butterflies we do see around, but they kind of just disappeared. So that actually got me thinking, like, what is happening in the environment? There are lot of changes, and we just really have to be sensible. And I was in the right environment, in the right course. I was studying and I was on the internet. I saw people like Greta, people like Vanessa Nekate. I saw their news about climate change and how someone like Vanessa Nekate was using her voice to speak about her country, how climate change is affecting Uganda, because Uganda is a country that depends on agriculture. So imagine climate change like tempering with the environment, with the temperature, with the climate. So it's definitely going to affect people's life, culture, livelihood, right? So that got me thinking, okay, what can I do to also like bring people's attention to this topic, and what is the way forward? What action can I take on my own part to make a difference?
Okay, so today we're discussing local actions, and I know you've done a lot of work. Can you lead us through some of the local actions that you've been involved and some of the things you've done? Because most times when we hear of climate change, it's either we are going for a road show, road work, or we are going for a cleanup exercise. Just lead us through some of the other local actions and some local actions that you've been part of.
Okay, I'm glad to be in the space with people like Loretta Boniface and Aliu Sadiq. These are the founders of EcoCycle Development Foundation. We've been able to partner with other stakeholders to engage in community sensitization and development, that is empowerment, both for women and young children, especially in the slums. Exactly what EcoCycle Development Foundation is doing. Partnering with my own organization, we've been able to empower young people to build resilience. That is like empowering young women in so many skill acquisition. That is reuse, recycling of waste materials, which they can actually use to get money from. That is like waste collection, like plastic bottles. And then also there is this project that we did, I think 2 years ago, in Ama community, where we went to schools, we engaged them in making bricks from melting plastic polythene bags with the use of sand to make bricks. And also EcoCycle Development Foundation, we were able to, with Kwadi Foundation, we were able to build a pet toilet. It's an amazing initiative where you fill in plastic bottle with sand and then you build a toilet. It's actually amazing because you're reducing the number of plastics that will go into the environment or to the waterways. And also my organization authored a book on climate education and environment for young children. With EcoCycle Development Foundation, they design a game. So we do come together, like mostly collaboration and partnership. So we visit schools, we create awareness, we empower children to critically think, to solve problems, and also to take action. The game is very, very educative. So is the comic book, especially for young people in nursery and primary schools.
Oh, amazing. Lots of work.
Mobile from family and friends, or mobile from family and friends, or from other stakeholders in the environment that support some of the activities that we do, like giving back to the society. And sometimes we use